It's 12, right? Oh, 1 minute before 12 p.m. So the short that I uploaded didn't do much, but hey, there was an attempt. For now, I'll just wait before a few people come in, and yeah, then we can have a little chat. Right, 2 people, 1 person. 2 people really, because I'm here as well. Hey, you hear that? It's the first Monday of the month. They're testing the alarm. Pretty interesting way to start off the live stream, isn't it? See, there's a nice spot. No questions yet. The last unannounced live stream that I did, I had a question, or I had a person talking to that I had the opportunity to talk to within a minute. I announced this live stream and no one is saying anything. And we are already almost 3 minutes in. 4 viewers. Right, getting somewhere. Again, I think I've said this before, these live streams depend a lot on you guys. If no one is gonna say anything, then there isn't much to talk about, and well, then the best I can offer you is some enjoyment of the scenery, of the nature around me. But if you guys have something to talk about, if you guys have a subject that you want me to cover, then this is your best chance to get some answers. I did take the steel bow with me. Never miss up on an opportunity to take a bullworker with you, but that's all I have. All right. 3 minutes in, 3 viewers. It's up to you guys. The live stream depends on the viewers. Actually, the last time, not the last time, but the time before that, that I did a live stream, there was some kind of bug that I didn't get any comments. I don't think that that is what's going on right now. However, I cannot be certain. If anyone can just leave a comment like hi or something like that, just to be sure. All right, there we go. Hey buddy, hey, what's up? Then I at least know that the chat is working, because I have seen at least once that there was some kind of bug that yeah, stopped it from working for whatever reason. But there we go. Oh. Look at this crap. Very muddy. Ain't stopping me though. Hey man. You know, it's alright, I guess. Hello, Machismo. Congratulations for your 9,000 plus followers. Thank you. In all honesty, I have not worked really hard for the last like 4,000 or 5,000 subscribers. But I am happy with them either way. What time is it there? Let's see. It's 12:05. 5 minutes over 12. I want to work out with you. Well, it's quite some distance between us, so not gonna happen anytime soon, unfortunately. Well, I am planning to go to India someday. Might even be at the beginning of the next year, I'm not certain yet. I will likely go to Asia, so Philippines, Thailand, those are the first countries that I really want to visit. Also, no, actually the first place I want to go is the Canary Islands. And then afterwards, I would be rather close to India, so that would be a good opportunity to go there. To Bihar. 7 hours difference from Texas. Yeah, I think that's about right. I have a few friends from America that I'm in contact with. And yeah, Texas would be like in like as time zone goes, would be in the middle. And a few of the friends that I have there, yeah, the difference would be about 7 hours. So it's, what is it? Is it like super early or super late? No, not super late. I think it's like super early in America, right? Don't know. I'm not 100% certain. Is it like 4 a.m. in America right now? Yeah, it must be, right? Yeah, I think so. Hmm. This is an acceptable spot. There we go. Oh, 5 a.m. Oh, right, 5 a.m., yes. Just waking up then, I assume. Alright. That's the extent of this thing. Not really working with the best tripod, but I'll work with it. Hmm. That's quite some time to wake up. I would not have it in me. 5 a.m. That's a little bit too early for me. You seem bummed out. Ah, not really. What's the state that I am in? How would I describe it? Not much of anything, really. This is a little bit better. Really? You pulled an all-nighter? Ugh. Not for me either. No. If it's up to me, I like to go to bed early. Be responsible with my sleep. Mm-hmm. Ah. So you gotta work night shifts. That's tough. Yeah, the people that I know who do night shifts, yeah, it's very demanding on them. But they manage. They survive. They're still around. So. But I think we can all agree that the human body is not made for night shifts. We're not made to work at night, but due to the circumstance of society, we don't have much of a choice. There are positions that have to be filled where people have to work at night. It's just a simple fact of how the system works. Yeah, you get used to it, for sure. Like the first few days are the worst, from what I know. Like after a week, you kind of get used to it, but it's still it's always a yeah, as you say, it's always demanding. It's never easy. You don't ever fully adjust to it. And that's really the thing. You never like, as far as I know, like friends of mine who have done night shifts for years, you don't ever truly 100% adjust to it. That's kind of the thing. With that being said, man, I don't want to interrupt your sleep. Hmm. It's cool though, no traffic and less congestion. Well, every downside has its upside, I guess. Surely very little traffic at a night shift, that's true. That's very true. I expected if I would do a live stream around this time, very few people would show up, and I was right, even when I announced it. That's fine. Yeah, I was prepared for a live stream with very few people to join. Just testing the waters, just testing out how what would be the best time to live stream if I'm going to do it. I'm not sure how often I will live stream if I get back to YouTube. Probably rarely. That was my initial thought about it. But I have a second channel, Machismo, for those of you who don't know. And maybe if that channel gets more views, then perhaps I'll consider to use that as a live stream channel. As of now, I'm not certain though. Alright. Well, since there are so few people in here, I'll just use this opportunity to relax and enjoy the nature around me. And then maybe in a bit I will watch if something comes up in the chat. 4 viewers. Yeah, I'm just enjoying nature. I'm just doing some kind of meditation, not a real meditation. I'm not really even deep in thought. I'm kind of devoid of thought at the moment, if that makes sense. I'm just experiencing nature. I guess it is kind of meditation, isn't it? And I'm also doing this to pass a bit of time. Maybe hoping a few more people come in so that we can actually have somewhat of a discussion. We can have a talk. Because as I said at the beginning of this live stream, these live streams really depend on the people that come in, the people who are willing to have a talk with me about whatever. If no one is doing that, then this is all there is to it. And this is all that I can offer. I can do a little bit of my own thing, just meditating a bit, enjoying the nature around me, maybe exercise a little bit, but that's it. The rest depends on you guys. I would argue that that would be boring for most people if there is nothing for me to talk about. So keep that in mind. It depends on you, the viewers. I am always a bit fascinated by this though. Like sometimes I'll get 10, 12 viewers and there's like no one talking. Like, what are those people doing? Right? Like, how to put it? Kind of wondering what you're watching these live streams for in that case. Maybe you really just are watching it for nothing but the scenery. That, that's a legitimate reason, I guess. Listening to what other people have to ask me, but if no one is asking anything, yeah, I don't know. There isn't much to talk about to begin with. I wonder if I sit here long enough if the view count will go to 0. That would be interesting. I've never managed to do that. Like there's always at least like 2 or 3 people around. In the very least. The less I say, the more viewers that I get. Sorry guys, to be so silent, I'm working at the same time. Well, that is a excuse. That is acceptable. So what do you do for a living? Well, you got me watching. I sell pet rocks. I have a question for you. Alright, let's hear it. I've heard about people who said the bull worker workouts could damage ligaments. What is your opinion about it? I think any form of exercise can damage your ligaments. If the bull worker is more likely to do it, that really depends on how you use it. I would argue that whenever you responsibly use any fitness device, be that free weights, bull worker, power twists, anything, the likelihood of injuring yourself is minimized, and the likelihood of injuring your ligaments, which are quite strong usually, is also very unlikely. But it's not impossible. To my knowledge, ligaments are more likely to get damaged. Yeah, I'm almost certain that they are more likely to get damaged with strength training. So you could argue with high intensity strength training, with high intensity isometric holds, the chances of you injuring your ligaments is increased, but you must also understand that there is always a risk of injury, and the more effort you put in, the higher that risk will be. I think that's the best answer I can give you regarding that question. This is not the best tripod, but it will do. How many bytes has this cost? Only 75 megabytes, hard to imagine. Nope. Do you take any supplements at all? Well, currently I take a bit of taurine. I sometimes take zinc. I eat seaweed kombu, which is very rich in iodine, the type of seaweed that I eat. Is there anything else that I take? A bit of creatine, although it doesn't make much sense me taking that as I'm not even working out. Or well, barely. Really not at all, currently. Hi there, nice to see you again. Quick question, can you get muscle by just doing holds? Yes, but it will take a much longer time. Because a lot of your development, as far as muscle growth goes, depends to a very large extent on time and retention. And I think that this is what a lot of people get wrong. A lot of people expect that the bull worker either just doesn't work, and that is usually because they don't use it enough, or they expect that they're going to get very superior results by just doing the most minimal thing that they can do. So it does work. You can do contractions and holds by themselves. You know, the whole 7 seconds thing, it does work, but the results will be very slow as far as muscle growth goes. As far as strength gains go in that regard, they might be a little bit faster, assuming you use a lot of effort on each contraction. And what is the best exercises to cover all upper body? Many thanks. I would argue that as far as the bull worker goes, the three best ones are the chest compression, the pull down, the bull worker push down. Actually, I will just demonstrate them. because I have a steel bow with me anyway. Wow, this is really not a great tripod. Hold on, let me attempt to fix this. Does this work? Alright. So the three best ones that I would argue is this works your chest, right? Any form of this, lower, higher, incline, decline. This works all of your chest, front of your shoulders, forearms, the inside of your forearms. And the next one is the bullworker push down. So this works a very large portion of your back, right? And yeah, also your triceps a little bit. Yeah. And then the cable spread. The cable spread works the outside of your forearms, shoulders, your upper back if you want to. If you use it at a more of this angle, you get a lot of movement in your upper back. And let me think, yeah, those would be the most useful exercise for your upper body. And I think that if you really do those three exercises for your upper body, you cover, you know, aside from maybe your biceps, you pretty much cover everything. Even with the chest compression, you cover your biceps a little bit, but it's not, yeah, you don't get a lot of isolation. You don't get a whole lot of effort from your biceps. That's really it. That's really the only limiting factor there. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I think that by using those three exercises, you cover pretty much 90%, 95% of your upper body. So there you go. Alright, you know what? Let's move on. Is there a good bicep exercise for the bull worker? Yeah, there are a few actually. I like the cable pull one, but I would rather do that on a bow classic. There is another one that I really like, but I don't really know how to explain it. I could possibly do a video on it. It's actually a really good exercise for the upper body altogether. Might even be better for the chest as well. But I'm at a loss of words to explain it right now. But that's the first thing that would come to mind. The one where you set one foot on the lower cable and use the upper cable to, yeah, basically flex your bicep. That's a really good one. But it's a lot better with a bow classic. I feel that the steel bow is actually a little bit too small for it. Yes, I do the bicep one you were describing. I like it. Yeah, it's a good one. If I really have to talk about any specific exercise for the biceps that I recommend, as far as the bull work goes, that would be the one. I know that there is this one that you can do with the steel bow, where you just compress the entire device like this. Right, you hold the handles, like one handle is on your shoulder, and you push upwards like this. It works as well, but I am not the biggest fan of it. I'm not sure how to explain it. It's not the most efficient one. The most efficient one is the one with the cables. Also because you can use it for both arms. That's great. Thank you for your time. Would like to stay longer, but work is calling. Love your channel. Peace and love to you and your family. Take care. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. And have a nice day at work. I will, much love, man. I will slowly but surely head home. This was just kind of a test to see if this is even an appropriate time to do a live stream. I expected as much. It really isn't. But hey, you know, you gotta try things out. Gotta see what works best. Intentionally doing a live stream when, you know, not many people are around. Classic machismo idea. I still think free weights for biceps are great. Yeah, they are. Like, if we're gonna talk about biceps, I would say that probably free weights are better. And there really isn't any machine tool that I can think of that can compare to free weights, at least in that regard. That might be one reason that some people are not especially satisfied with the bull worker, because one, they don't know how to use it for their arms, and even if they do, they might not get the exact same results. However, what I will say, it can be very efficient for the triceps, the bull worker. You absolutely should not underestimate the bull worker for your triceps. It's very good for your forearms. It's the best thing that I know for forearms, together with probably the power twister. At least as far as the things that I own. But when it comes to the biceps and it comes to bicep isolation, yeah, I'm inclined to say use free weights. You never go wrong with a few bicep curls. It's always helpful to use it. Where the hell have you been? In the Netherlands. You named Power Twister, here I am. Hey, that's correct. True that. Just in time. Yeah, a lot of stuff happened. So, I could have been around, I could have done YouTube in that time, but my head would not have been in the game. Let's just put it that way. And I'm planning to keep that for myself for a while. It's always good if a man has some secrets, isn't it? I think it is. That's why I ask you where you've been. No, nothing, well, nothing dangerous to me, let's put it that way. I am alright, I've not suffered. I'm in good health. So, nothing bad going on there, but no, just personal life stuff. Like mentally, physically, I'm doing fine, nothing to worry about. But yeah, it's been really one heck of a time. It's a time zone change, bro. Don't be discouraged. You have followers. I'm not at all discouraged. it was, as I put it, like I intentionally started this live stream at a time that I knew not many people are going to watch. I'm not at all bothered if I start a live stream and no one is gonna say anything. I'm completely unbothered by it. I know that there are people who like to watch this, whether they're around at that time or not. That's a second. But even if no one would be willing to listen, even that's something you must find some form of peace with. Yeah. Contempt? No, not contempt. Don't know. Anyway, however the situation is, I'm happy with it. It's fine, you don't have to say it. Remember, you were so inspirational, I handmade tools you sponsored. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Actually, yeah, if you have videos on that, maybe I will share some stuff on my channel. Up. I don't know if I showed you my tool for the arms. You showed it. You've covered a hydraulic power twister, correct? That's the first thing that comes to mind. The one you push in both arms and the strength of the arm is to work the opposite arm. I'm not sure if I've seen that. You know what? If I put this video on private or I remove this, then be sure to leave a comment on another video of mine and with a link to that. Actually, don't. Because even if you would put a comment with a link to it, it might actually get removed by YouTube. Just be sure to leave a comment and I'll check. Actually, one other thing you can do is you can just add me on Instagram and you can reach out to me on there. Usually, as long as a person is, you know, friendly, behaves normal, I'm willing to respond to them. So, yeah, and exactly. Just connect with me on Instagram. Look at this shit. Oh, I want to fall here. That would make quite a funny clip, right? Would increase the potential of this going viral. Yeah, I think isometrics are always useful. I'm a big fan of isometrics, but I also believe that isotonic exercise is very important. And one gets both of best worlds if one uses both. But as I have always done with my bull worker workouts, I've always said, and do repetitions, follow them up with isometric holds, and that way you combine both. And what Chrisman tends to do is he does the reverse. He says start with an isometric hold and then do repetitions. And I think both have benefits. I think my method is probably better for growing muscle, whereas his method might be a little bit better for growing strength. Just checked. I might link you on IG. Yeah, be sure to do that, because that's the... If you want to get in contact with me, that's the best place to do it. I may back or I'll make a video later. YouTube, Instagram, any other sites? No, nothing that I'm really active on right now. I'm I'm really not active anywhere. I'm not all that big on on social media. Don't really care so much about it. But if there's any place you want to contact me, it would be Instagram. I won't sponsor myself for that, but under $10, I made one that's more flexible. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I'm very curious, man. I'm looking forward to what you have to show me. Mm. Remember, it's your fault if I'm that creative. Of course, I am quite an inspirational person who is quite creative himself, so that's what I'm here to do. Inspire people to be creative. That's one of my goals. So I will take full blame, full responsibility. Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Are you in New Zealand? No. No, I'm from the Netherlands. Why did you think that I'm from New Zealand? You are one of my first viewers, right? Yeah, for sure. So you should know that I'm from the Netherlands. New Zealand. Really nice country, but I don't think that I'll ever visit it. I can't find your IG anymore. Oh, it's, let's see, can I... Certainly should still be around. Has the same profile picture. It's just, this sucks. I can actually not write while live streaming, which is a little bit silly. No, it's still the same name, and... Ah, you got it. Yeah, it's the same as it has always been. I have two. I have my, I would say, personal one, the @lowercase echt, and the Machismo one. And I'm a lot more. Well, I'm available a lot more on the @echt one. Are you lost in the forest? Seems you're going in circles. Yeah, I'm lost. I don't know which way I'm going. Don't know. Well, the thing is, a lot of people think that I have a ton of nature around me, but there's actually, like, this forest is not that big as most people think. Oh, really? You thought I was from there? No, no. Not at all. Do New Zealanders sound like Australians? I don't think I sound like an Australian, do I? Nice little garbage bag. Yeah, do I sound like an Australian? Australian, mate. I don't think I could even do it if I tried. Australians are very big potty mouths, aren't they? I don't have that in me. I used to have that in me when I was younger, but I don't know. I have to be careful what I say, right? I might get demonetized, not that it really matters. The likelihood that I'll keep this video up isn't very large. So, it's not very big. You sound like a hunter from Alaska. Really interesting. It's good to hear that people cannot hear that I'm from the Netherlands. I think that I have trained my matter of speech very well throughout the years, to a point where it's not very easy to spot the fact that I am from the Netherlands. So you can kind of hear it. I still hear from some people that they can hear that I have a Dutch accent, but it's not like the stone cold English that a lot of Dutch people have. Like what I'm doing right now. I don't have that. So it's something that I've worked on for a very long time. And it naturally comes with the years. He's an alien hunter. God, wouldn't that be cool? What do you think of Norway? Any opinion? Pretty cold, isn't it? But I guess it's a country that does very well for itself. As far as I know, the people tend to be, as far as the media reports, very happy. I don't know if that's true. A lot of people say that the Netherlands belongs to one of the happiest countries in the world. I have my doubts on that. It's not really what I'm seeing, but who knows? People told me it's expensive. Yeah, it is certainly very expensive. It's one of the most expensive countries in the world. I don't think that I would be happy living there, simply because it's very cold. Yes, tax. Exactly. Not exactly what I'm looking for. But, you know, the taxes in the Netherlands aren't great either, so. Send you a DM. I will check it once this live stream is done and I've eaten for a bit. Things like that. So I will not respond right away, but I will get in touch with you today. Yes, much love, man. Finland is the happiest place in the world. Yeah, Norway might be like place number 2 or 3. I'm not exactly sure. Finland. I think it used to be Sweden, right? Like, well, over a decade ago. It used to be Sweden. And also an extremely kind country. But that is now long ago because of situations that are political, and you have to be careful to talk about them. I'm sure you won't be surprised with the pieces I used. I'm very, I'm very interested to see it. Looking forward to it. Finland has high suicide rate in Europe, so not so happy, I guess. You know, can it be determined by suicide rates alone? I'm not sure. You have a lot of Arabic countries where suicide rates are extremely low, but the people there are typically, from what I know, and I've been in contact with such people, they are not in an excess of happiness. It's just that in the religion, if you kill yourself, then the punishment is, well, horrendous, much more horrendous than you can imagine, at least as it's described in their books, or in their book. So I have problem with certain words, right? You hear that, like book. Is it book? 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 Don't know. So I don't know if suicide rates directly correlate with happiness, necessarily, but it certainly is an indication. I won't deny that. That message is being deleted. Probably YouTube doesn't like talking about ending humans. Ah, you you send a message and it's now not visible. I don't know. Cannot see it actually, so I'm not in a position where I get to decide which comments show up and which do not. But again, any thoughts you have, be sure to let them know on Instagram. I don't think that the suicide ratings here in the Netherlands are particularly high, but again, from what I see around me, a lot of people are in a very desperate, hopeless situation. So, and it's very hard for them to mentally deal with it. It's interesting to see how that has happened within the course of really just a few years. Because over, let's say, a decade ago, I would have said, yeah, the Netherlands has problems, but it probably would belong to one of the happiest countries in the world. And now I just don't see that. The state of mind, the happiness within the people has clearly changed dramatically. The way how people cope with the reality around them, with the current situation, on a multitude of levels, it is very different from what it was a few years ago. The mental shift is so different now than it was a few years ago. So there's no way that we are still talking in terms of the happiness of the people. We are talking in the same terms because the whole mentality of this nation has shifted. Yeah, I remember lately society is kind of strict. It's much more than that. Strictness is one part of it. We are absolutely losing a certain sense of inner freedom. But it's a very complex thing. It's not something you can explain in a few sentences. We are losing freedom, yes. We're also bombarded with information. And a lot of people have a hard time dealing with that. There's just too much to cover. And we are dealing with a lot of problems all at once. You know, we can argue that the media is corrupt. I don't think that anyone's making a secret of that. Monopolies on, well, certain branches of business. Complete loss of competition in that regard. Pharmaceutical companies, weapon industries, war, all of that. The military industrial complex. And there's a lot of, I don't know the word for it. We are also living in a, I don't want to use the word weak society, but it's a very, I've lost the English word, a very petulant, very like frugal society. Yeah, we're living in a very frugal society. Very frugality kills people, legitimately, because it leads to a sense of like unnecessary fear. Just escape to the wilderness and be self-sufficient. I think that there's a lot of value in that, but I don't think it's the end-all answer to everything. We will all be trapped in smart city prisons very soon. I think society will put up a fight. I don't think it's over yet, but on a long enough basis, yeah, I think most societies will lose a very large extent of their freedom. And one can argue what that means in the very long run. I mean, even if you're gonna put people in smart cities or whatever, even if you're gonna take away all of the freedom that people have. Surely that sucks, but what is that going to mean in 200, 300 years? Are we still in that situation by then? I don't know. Of course, we now have to just look and think of our own lives. What can we achieve in this lifetime? Even if it doesn't mean anything in the grander scheme of reality. Even if it doesn't mean anything over the next 1,000 years. Of course, we all want to live our best lives, don't we? And then what will happen in the foreseeable future of our lifetimes, I don't know. But we can predict certain outcomes and the best ways to handle them. I'm not sure if fleeing to the wilderness is the best option. Things have definitely changed. You are so correct. Fearful society. Yeah, in many regards, we are very fearful. It's also, as I say, it's a frugal sense of fear. We are made afraid of things that we really should not be afraid of to begin with. We are stressed out over things that we really should not be stressed out if we really think about it. If we really just sit down and just observe the situation, even observe ourselves for a while, we would simply find that we have put certain values and concepts in our society, certain fears, certain expectations on concepts that we really shouldn't have. We really should not be stressed out over certain things that, dare I say, society or the government tells us we should be so fearful or stressed out over. Not even so much the government, more so even the media. The media, which is of course partly run by the government, is telling us what we should fear and what we shouldn't fear. And in some regards, you could say there is a legitimate argument to be made. A somewhat, not even legitimate, but maybe an argument you could understand. But in a lot of ways, we are made fearful of things that are just stupid. It's just really ridiculous. I wish I had a good example right now, but too many thoughts running through my head right now. Maybe if I take a breather for now, maybe something comes up. You know, it's not the best example, but one thing that always fascinates me is how stressed people get in traffic, for example. And this is not necessarily even something that the media tells you to be stressed over, but you can sit in a car and people get stressed over waiting too long at a red light. And the difference if the red light goes to green sooner is like, and you getting there, the difference is like 2 seconds. And people get so much stress over these little insignificant stupid things. People like get anger attacks if the red light doesn't go to green sooner. It's yeah, it's fascinating. Really, like if you think about it, and this is something that people take with them for really the moment they get their driver license. They get this irrational anger, this irrational frustration that they will keep with them until the grave. And it makes no sense. It's stupid, it's lame, it's unnecessary. There are legitimate reasons to be angry, but that isn't one of them. It's not the best example that I have. It's really even a different subject altogether than frugal fear, but it's, I don't know, it's an interesting example of how the mind can be programmed, even programmed by yourself, to respond to certain things in a very unhealthy, dare I say, childish way. Anyway, no one is commenting anything, so yeah. I'm all out of words. If anyone has anything to say, anything to add, then yeah. Patience is a virtue, I guess, for sure. Don't have too much patience, but a little bit goes a long way. And a very interesting example of frugal fear is what you see in the nutrition community. And I talk about the nutrition community as a grander concept. I'm not just talking about vegans, carnivores, ketogenic people, all of them. They have such an extensive fear of putting anything in their bodies that is less than optimal in their minds. And I get it, like you might want to live on an optimal diet. You might have an idea of a concept of what an optimal diet should be, but how should I put it? Like, let's for example say a tablespoon of seed oil is not going to kill you. But people are so irrationally fearful of even the littlest bit. And you can say maybe it's not optimal. Maybe there is always a better way to do things. But you shouldn't be afraid of the very small things, because then you live in you live with an obsession in your mind to do things perfectly. And that by itself is, well, again, as I say, frugality kills. That by itself is something that puts such a strain on your mind. It's so unnecessary. So many people have this self-induced state of hypochondria when they bother with the whole nutrition thing. Well, people are leaving. I think that I'll just take a little bit of a walk and then I'll end the live stream. It ended up to being a little bit fun after all, so I'm grateful for that. Yeah, patience is a virtue. All of these concepts, they have their value if you understand how to use it. Never have too much patience either. A little bit of patience, very useful to have. And it goes well together with other concepts as well. Patience coupled with analytical ability, the ability to plan. It all strengthens one another. So if anyone has a question, then this is the time to hear it, to let me know. Otherwise, I will probably end the live stream within a few minutes now. And it's fine if no one has anything to add, but just giving everyone a heads up, the 4 people who are watching. How late is it anyway? Alright. Probably a good time to head home. Get some things done, maybe do a video. Nice meeting you. Hope to see you soon. Who knows? Yes, thanks for joining, by the way. Still not exactly sure what to do with these live streams, because I enjoy them, and I think that if I announce them well beforehand, then typically a lot of people do join, but don't know. We'll see. Yeah, you know, there are a few reasons that I rather don't do these too often. but I do consider it. One big reason is that I just don't have the data to do this, well, very often. I just now happen to have a bit more data. Ah, Eagle, I see you're following me. I think you left a while ago, didn't you? That's fine. So yeah, I think that's it. Guys, girls, I assume you all guys, it's more likely. I thank you all for joining, and yeah, it turned out to be a fun live stream. Yeah. I wish you all a nice day, and see you next time. Who knows whenever that is. Goodbye.